everybody, tennis coach Robert here, and I know if you're like most people, you guys are very busy, you don't have the time to go ahead and do your warm-ups. I fully understand that, but we should really try to do it, but in case we don't, I have some suggestions and some helps for you guys, okay? Because the vast majority of people, I've been teaching for a very, very long time, the vast majority of people don't do a warm-up. If they do a warm-up, it's a very, we're talking about a dynamic type warm-up or a static warm-up before or after, but we just don't do it. We say that we don't have time, and most of us are sitting all day long in an office, not moving too much, so our bodies are stiff. We get home, we're under pressure to do things, and then we get on the tennis court, we want to play tennis, we don't want to go ahead and do all this stretching and so on. But whenever you have an opportunity, if we can work on a few things throughout the day, that would help us out tremendously. So one of the things you can do is do what I do. I walk a lot, okay? So I park the car at a very far area, I walk to the court. So what I'm doing is I'm making my movement, okay? Whenever I can, I know lunges is a very important part of tennis. So when I tie my shoes, I don't bend, I go ahead and I get into a little bit of a lunge to tie my shoes. So I make sure that I'm working on this. I do this throughout the entire day. If something is on the ground, I make sure that I do that. Excuse me. When I have an opportunity, I'll get into do a few of these squats to make sure that I get a chance to do these things. You don't have to be good at it. Start slowly and keep building. So when I go ahead and I warm up, or if I have an opportunity, I do this simple type of movement, okay? And it works for the volleys as well as the ground strokes, okay? So what I start by doing is I get into a squat position, I have to take a few steps, and then I lunge and I push. So this is something that I can do when I'm doing my short court warm-up. So I go ahead, so even if I'm not, I'm pressed for time and I just get onto the court, many of you guys do your short court warm-up, you're twisting and hitting balls all kinds of crazy way. We're trying to work on touch, making sure we're playing the ball. So for about a minute, when I warm up with my students or playing, we want to just hit the ball. Keep the ball going for 1 minute without making a mistake. Okay, that's the goal. So we go ahead and we get into this squat position. We move a little bit, we lunge. We're playing in the service box. We move back, we take a few steps, we lunge and we push. We take a few steps, we squat, we move forward, and we lunge and we push. Now the squat, this thing here, that's our ready position. And if you want to go ahead and take it to the next level, we're starting here just gently, making sure doing things slowly will lead us to a better solution. Eventually, the squat ends up being a jump squat. So this is just a split step, okay? That's all it is. We start off here very gently. We've been working all day long. Bodies are tight. Squat, making sure the body is upright, not bending too much. We take a few steps, we lunge and we push, we get our recovery back. We take a few steps, we lunge and we push, we take a few steps. Then we can go ahead and make that into a volley. We squat, we lunge forward and push. Squat, lunge and push. Squat, lunge and push. And you don't need a tennis racket for this. Squat, lunge and push. Squat, lunge and push. Squat, take a few steps and go forward. So you can go ahead and do that as part of your warm-up. Then we can go ahead and continue as we move further back and get a little more rotation involved. We add the twist and the push a little bit more. So I go squat, move my feet a little bit, lunge, twist, push and pull, back again. And I'm doing this gently, and I can shadow this while making sure that I'm in the right position. At this point in time, again, I'm making sure that I'm in the right position to hit the ball. I'm not reaching, I'm not doing anything. I'm working on absolute perfection. So squat, move my feet, lunge and push. Squat, move my feet, lunge and push. Squat, move my feet, lunge and push. And I keep working on this gently so that when I go ahead and play my match, all the muscles that I will be using are being warmed up. And I can do this efficiently. I can do this in my kitchen. I can do it anywhere. So this is a very good way to go ahead and get warmed up, okay? And if you want to go ahead and do this as an exercise, because every single day, at some point in the day, I do some shadowing. So I go ahead and I practice my shadow, I go ahead, I'll do it for about a minute, and I hit the ball, and I move my feet, making sure that I'm hitting the ball correctly, and I get all of these things, making sure I recover, and going forward, making sure I come forward, and moving and making sure I come forward, that I'm in the right position, hitting everything as perfectly as I can. You don't need a tennis partner for this. You can do this at any time, and it's a great warm-up. It's a great way to get in shape. If you do this for a minute or so, excellent use of exercise and time, and you're doing something you love, so that when you finally get the ball involved, when you're hitting, you realize that when the ball comes and you do this, I didn't move my feet enough. That's the reason. So most of the time, when you make a mistake is because I'm not aware of what I'm doing. But if I shadow and work on these movements and warm-up exercises, I will be able to get into the right shot. Okay? Thank you all very much for tuning in. If you enjoyed the video, thumbs up will always be helpful. And if you're not a subscriber, please do subscribe. And please go out there and play tennis. Don't just hit balls. We're here to play tennis and make you better. Until next time, play.
For more information on Carlbo Tennis, visit www.carlbotennis.com. If you wish to email Coach Robert, please do so at robert@carlbotennis.com or visit his Facebook page at www.facebook.com/carlbotennis. Tennis for the people. This video was an ADCI LLC production and was filmed at the North Pinellas YMCA located in Palm Harbor, Florida.